Okay, what if I told you that you could build some seriously powerful custom AI applications just by drawing a flowchart? Sounds a bit like science fiction, right? Well, today we're going to dive into a tool called Flowise, and it pretty much makes that a reality.
So, have you ever been in that spot? You've got this killer idea for an AI app, maybe a custom chatbot that knows every single one of your business documents inside and out. But then you hit that wall. The thought of all the coding, all the complexity, it just stops you in your tracks.
Yeah, that exact feeling, that friction, that huge gap between having a brilliant idea and having the technical chops to actually build it, well, that's the exact problem we're going to break down today. All right, let's get into it. To really get why a tool like Flowise is such a game changer, we first have to talk about the fundamental problem it's built to solve. I like to call it the AI coding wall.
And this really illustrates that great divide perfectly. See, on one side, you've got these incredibly powerful frameworks like LangChain. Think of them as these amazing toolkits for building really complex AI systems. But then there's the other side, the barrier. To use those toolkits, you've historically needed some serious coding knowledge. Python, APIs, the whole shebang. It's effectively locked the door for anyone who isn't a developer with a very, very specific skill set.
And this is exactly where Flowise comes in. It's like this brilliant visual layer that sits right on top of all those complex tools. It's basically creating a whole new language for building AI, one that's graphical, not text-based. So, to put it simply, what is Flowise? It's an open-source platform that lets you build those exact same powerful LangChain applications, but you do it all visually. Drag, drop, connect. Absolutely no programming required. Zero.
The best analogy for it is this. Think of it like a visual flowchart editor, not a code editor. If you can draw out a process with some boxes and arrows, guess what? You can build an AI app in Flowise. The whole focus shifts from syntax and code to just the logic of what you want to build.
Okay, that's the what. So how does it actually work? Let's get into the mechanics here and see how you go from just a blank screen to a fully deployed working AI application. It really boils down to just three super simple concepts. First up, you've got your visual nodes. These are your building blocks, right? Things like your LLM, your vector store, your tools. Then you've got the connections. These are literally just the lines you draw between the nodes to show how the data is going to flow through your system. And finally, there's the configuration. You just click on a node and a little panel pops up where you can tweak all the settings, like putting in your API keys.
Let's make this concrete with a real-world example. Imagine you're a product manager. You desperately need a chatbot that can answer questions based on a pile of internal company documents, but you don't have a developer on hand. Here's how you'd actually build that step by step in Flowise.
Okay, step one, you just drag your main components onto the canvas. You'll grab a document loader, a vector store, which is just a fancy database that makes your text searchable by meaning, not just keywords, and a chat model like OpenAI. Step two, you connect the dots, literally, to create the logical flow. Step 3, you click on each piece and configure the settings. And finally, step 4, you hit that deploy button. And that's it. In just a few minutes, you have a live working chatbot with its own API endpoint. All of that without a single line of code. It's pretty incredible. And don't think this is just for building simple little chatbots either. The platform comes loaded with over 100 pre-built nodes. We're talking connections to all sorts of different language models, various kinds of databases, and even external tools like a web search. And it's all just to drag and drop away. Now, I know this all sounds amazing, right? But the big question is Flowise the right tool for you? For every project? Probably not. So let's do a quick little litmus test to help you figure out if it's a good fit for what you're trying to do. Okay, so Flowise is an absolute home run if you're a non-coder who wants to get your hands dirty building AI, or if you need to prototype an idea super fast. It's also fantastic for visual learners, people who just naturally think in flowcharts. Basically, it's perfect for standard common AI patterns where speed is everything, and getting a working version out the door is your #1 priority. But let's be real, it's not a silver bullet. There's always a trade-off. And here, it's basically speed versus control. If your project needs some really unique custom logic that doesn't fit a standard box, or if you need to squeeze out every last drop of performance, well then good old-fashioned code is still your best bet. Think of it this way. Flowise gets you 90% of the way there, fast. Code gives you that last 10% of total control and flexibility.
So who's the real winner here? Well, a whole bunch of people. product managers and business analysts who can finally build the tools they've been designing, prototypers who can now validate an idea in a couple of hours instead of waiting weeks. Even developers can find it super useful for, say, visual debugging. And of course, you've got agencies that need to crank out AI solutions for clients on a super tight schedule. It's a game changer for them.
But when you zoom out, the implications here are so much bigger than just this one cool piece of software. What we're really talking about is a fundamental shift in how technology gets built, period.
Yeah, what we're seeing with tools like Flowise, it's not just a new product on the market, it's a genuine movement. It's all about lowering that barrier to entry, so the power to create and to build isn't just stuck in the hands of a few specialists anymore. It's becoming accessible to absolutely anyone with a good idea.
So if you walk away with just 3 key takeaways from all this, let them be these. Number 1, Flowise lets you build complex, powerful LangChain apps just by dragging and dropping boxes on a screen. No coding. Number 2, it's an absolute godsend for non-technical folks and for rapid prototyping. And number 3, and this is the big one, it is fundamentally democratizing AI development. It's changing who gets to be a builder in the age of AI.
And that leaves us with one last pretty profound question to think about. As these visual tools become more and more common, are they going to fundamentally change who gets to build our digital future? I think if you look closely, the answer is already starting to take shape. Thanks so much for joining me for this one.